Welcome back to Old Tavern Farm. We're getting into fall now and it's becoming cold and flu season. My daughter and her family have had colds, and so I thought it would be a fun little project to do on my day off here and make some chicken noodle soup, chicken soup. So here is how you make a basic chicken soup. I like to use the whole bird that I have here. I just use a big stock pot. When you use the whole cut of meat with the bone and the skin and everything, it imparts lots of flavor, and it also imparts lots of nutrients, the cartilage and all the connective tissue and everything that is part of the animal, whether it's a beef cut or venison or pork or chicken, dog, any of that, that all delivers nutrients into that stock that you're making. So I just use the whole bird. If I don't have a whole bird, I do just use a boneless chicken breast or a couple of legs or anything like that. So whole bird into the pot, and then I just take one onion, one whole bulb thing of garlic, and I just throw that was Gretel walking by, sorry about that. The perils of video. Here on the Old Tavern Farm, dogs are walking and snoring and barking and all that stuff. I still have some herbs in my garden. It's about middle of October or so. So I put some sage. Sage and chicken are like best friends. They go great together. So I just threw the whole branch in there. It's fine. Some chives. And then I also put some basil and some peppercorn in there too. So this is the pasta that I decided to use, this fusiloni. And you're just basically gonna fill that pot with plain old tap water and put the lid on it. You can also use a slow cooker if you want to make chicken soup while you're at work or you're away for the day. Just put it in a slow cooker. Put all the stuff in a slow cooker and turn it on low. So you guys can follow along. I'm going to go put this on the stove, and then we will continue with our soup and our special delivery in just a little bit. I'm going to cook that chicken on the stove on about medium simmer for around 2 hours. Once it's loose in the joints and looks like it's ready to pull, set the pot aside and let it cool. Remove the chicken with a slotted spoon or tongs. Set it on a plate and let it cool for a few minutes. At this point, we're going to do what's called deboning. All that means is that we're going to separate the bones and the skin and some of the connective tissue and other undesirable bits from the meat that we want to put back in our soup. This is a little bit of a time-consuming process. I do try to take my time, however, and work the meat through my fingers to locate any small pin bones or lumps of gristle that we don't want in our soup. It's also a good chance to clean the bones of every single bit of good meat. I set my bones to the side of the plate and put my meat on the opposite side. I continue to work my way through the bones, separating the skin, keeping a nice neat pile, and then run my fingers through one last time to make sure that everything I want out of there is out. And I do find tiny little bones every now and then, just like this one. Now that it's safely in the pile, I can continue to weed through the meat to make sure everything is nice and clean. At this point, I'm going to move back over to my soup pot, and I'm going to add my pasta. You can use any cut of pasta you like for chicken noodle soup. Little cuts, bigger cuts. You can use extruded pasta like spaghetti and linguine. But I'm using this fun, large, whole wheat pasta because I thought my daughter and her family would enjoy it. It's just a little bit different. It'll cook the same amount of time as any other pasta. Now I add my chicken meat. And as you can see, that chicken stock is nice and dark brown, full of nutrition and all the good stuff that they're going to need to get over their colds. The great part is I still have a pile of bones that I can make another pot of chicken stock with, just to use for the future. Nothing goes to waste. Now I'm just going to dry my hands because I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning. Chicken soup really takes a lot of salt. There's actually a lot of soup here, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon of kosher salt to this batch. I might need to add more later, but this is what I start out with. I can always add more, I can't take it out. Then I add some cracked black pepper, which goes great in chicken stock and chicken soup. At this point, I'm going to add my onion. I've chopped it in a medium dice, although you can grate it, you can slice it, you can cut it in a small dice. You can do it however you like. But alliums such as onions and garlic are loaded with nutrition. They really help boost our immune system, and they also add wonderful flavor. This is a whole bulb of garlic. I use my local garlic, which tends to be a little smaller than grocery store varieties. I let that soup cook on the stove for about 30 minutes. As you can see, the pasta has grown larger and is taking up a lot of room. I'm going to pour myself a bowl for my lunch. And then I'm going to start packing it up to take it to my daughter's house. I love to use these half-gallon mason jars. They're useful for everything. I keep my dried goods in them, such as flour, sugar, even granola and dried fruit. Using a canning funnel, such as the one I have here, helps eliminate too much of splatter and mess. They're incredibly useful, widely available, and very inexpensive. I also like to use these jars because their thick glass virtually guarantees that it's not going to crack or break, and the tight lid will assure me that it's not going to tip over and spill in the car as I take it to my daughter's house. But you can certainly let the soup cool before you pack up yours. So once again, thank you for visiting me here at Old Tavern Farm. I hope you make your own chicken noodle soup as we head into cold and flu season. And thank you so much for visiting. Bye-bye.